Well, here we are. So, last time we talked a little bit about your healing process.
Yeah.
And before I go into that,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know, how was your day?
Mm-hmm.
What was your interaction with Bryant today?
We just honestly we went to his alumni, well, I guess I'm modern, his basketball game and watched the team play, and he got interviewed by him when he played there. And we just kind of hung out in Annapolis, went Christmas shopping for each other's family. You know, just kind of hung out today. It was really fun. It was very productive. We just enjoyed each other's company, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have any arguments, no confrontation with each other or anything like that. Just kind of enjoyed each other's company.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, to touch base a little bit, did you guys get a chance to, meet the parents in a sense?
No, we won't meet them until tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the big day. That's
big day. Yeah.
I guess you can say that's Judgment Day.
Right. Yeah. Basically, I think that's why we kind of it was important for us to have this day with each other, as far as enjoying each other's company. Kind of having fun with each other. Because tomorrow's gonna be a little bit more not serious. 'Cause it shouldn't be serious, but it is, in a sense. It is. So
you gotta put your game face on.
Yeah, game face, basically. So today was more like a us day for us, until tomorrow. So
Okay.
yeah, I feel like it was needed.
How does he feel?
For tomorrow?
Yeah, is he prepared? Is he ready? Is he anxious?
Yeah, he's anxious, but yeah, I feel like he's ready. I think he's ready. I think at this point in time, I keep, reassuring him that, I'm going to be there with you. You're not the only person that's going to be enduring, whatever. I'm saying the worst, but I never know. There's no telling with my family. I'm saying the worst, but who knows? But, I'm still going to be right here beside you while you're going through this feeling that you're feeling. So, I mean, he seems like he's ready for it, but you don't know until you know. So, we went to tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the term reassuring, because are you familiar with the 5 love languages?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, the 5 love languages, I think, is something that you should really look into.
Okay.
And actually, I would love to just talk to you a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
I think it can help you understand how to connect with Bryant better. For example, my love language is touch.
Okay.
And the 5 love languages has allowed me and my significant other to really just understand each other better. Last session you used the term reassuring. And based on your conversation, I could probably tell you that your love language is words of affirmation.
Okay.
Now,
that makes sense.
They do have a test to where you just fill out a survey.
Okay.
You fill out a survey online, and you can print it out to kind of see. Possibly, if you can do that, I'll give you the information for next session.
Okay.
But and I just thought of this just because you said that, but yeah, I think that'll be a great activity for next session.
Okay.
And I just want you to know that today is the longest. Will be the last 30-minute session.
Okay.
Next session it'll be quicker, 10 minutes, just to touch base on whether or not we continue our counseling, or we get you referred to someone else who may be able to dig deeper to help you understand, or if you feel like this is the sufficient amount of counseling that you may not need anymore.
Okay.
But when it comes to the love languages, like I said, between quality time, mine was touch, like I said, words of affirmation, gifts, and services, as far as you come home and Bryant did the dishes.
Right.
So maybe you like coming home to a clean kitchen,
things.
like some stuff like that, or quality time where you simply just want to be around him,
right.
watching TV, reading a book, just being around him.
Right.
Then you have touch, where maybe in order for you to connect to Brian, you need to touch him.
Right.
As far as nothing, not sexual, but more so like touch his shoulder to ask him, hey, how's your day?
Right.
Or, hey, can you go to the store for me? He might respond differently
right.
than if you don't touch him, to ask him if he can go to the store.
Right.
It happens. My significant other does it all the time.
Okay.
Words of affirmation. Mm-hmm. So maybe you like to hear what he's going to do
right.
to improve your relationship versus him actually do it.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be. Like I said, it's a very interesting.
Yeah, I can definitely see I can see that. I can definitely.
And
see
this is something that I've received from, I analyzed from our previous sessions up till now, and I'm like, you use the term reassuring a lot over the past few sessions, and how you feel when it comes to what people say.
Right.
Just showed me that maybe words of affirmation is your love language. And that's important to know. It's important to know, but it's also important for your significant other to know.
Right.
So that you guys can work like a team.
Okay.
And that's like I said, next session. Well, after today's session, I'll give you the information, but next session, come back with it and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
And I really that's out of my curiosity, but I think you'll like it. So, to step back from the words of affirmation and, the 5 love languages. Last session we talked about healing and what it looks like, what you envision healing looking like.
Right.
When it comes to what you want by yourself, how will you go about being healed?
By myself.
Yes, with no help.
Okay.
And this is healing from the abandonment wound. This is healing from Dante's abusive relationship, where maybe it wasn't physical, but it was more mental and like emotional. What are ways or techniques that you think that you can become healed if you have any wounds from that?
I think ways, and not necessarily wounds, just more ways to increase my self-worth and grow as a person to overcome the past. I think it's definitely, techniques for me would be that would be beneficial. Definitely reading on people who went through similar situations and how different ways they got over it. Like motivational books, inspirational books. I think that's the technique for me because I love to read and love to hear people's testimony at people that's similar to mine. So I think that's something beneficial to me.
I think one book you should look into is Uninvited.
Okay.
I'll write that down as well, and it has to deal with rejection.
Okay.
And abandonment wounds, and like it's a great book. It's very empowering. I've recommended it to plenty of clients. Okay. And I think that you would really like what the book has. Okay. Only because if you're looking to, not if you're looking to, but I gave you the scenario. What does it look like to be healed by yourself?
Right.
No help. Here's a book. Educate yourself. Look at the scenarios and compare. I think that's a great start.
Okay.
What are other ways that you would possibly?
Other ways is I felt like was to write down how I was feeling, or if I were to have a flashback, I would write it down.
Okay.
And write it down and kind of like self-process it, and why I felt, how did I get that flashback? what was the flashback and what can I do about it now.
What does that look like? Like, what does
So,
that look like?
one time, me and Dante was on FaceTime, and he made a comment about, the way I dress. And I switch it up. I don't really have a certain style, honestly. I can dress like a basketball player one day. I can be really girly one day. I can like a coach the next day. I can wear joggers the next day. I can wear heels the next day. Makeup and lashes. I really have no preference. And he made a comment like, I like it better when your hair is straight or something like that. And it made me have a flashback of when Dante would only prefer me to wear just girly clothes, makeup, long weave, like not my natural hair. He didn't like my natural hair, so I kind of took offense to it because it made me think of that. And I knew Brian didn't mean the way he meant it. Like, I know he didn't mean it the way that Dante usually used to mean it. So, you know, I kind of was in my feelings about it. You know, he had to go to practice, something like that. So I ended up writing it down. I ended up writing down what Brian said and why I had the flashback. And I wrote down because, and I never said Dante's name. I always say because somebody made me feel like my natural beauty was never enough. And so then the third part would be like kind of like complimenting myself, or saying that, kind of like motivating myself, kind of saying that your natural beauty is always enough, but you can always, you know, wear what you want to wear, you can do what you want to do, that type of thing. Like, kind of like have a purpose as to why I wrote it, or kind of motivate myself to saying that, you know, that negative comment, you make the best of it, or you kind of overcome it, basically, that type of thing. So I always try to make different ways, exercises of the flashbacks. But it's kind of exercise, basically, like a positive motivational like exercise I try to do with myself when stuff like that happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it like to have those flashbacks? And you said that you have started to write them down.
Yeah, I think I have about maybe 4 papers so far, like little papers about.
Now, does Bryant know about this?
No.
How do you think he would handle it if you shared with him the flashbacks you have written down?
I think that and the reason why I don't tell Dante about it, like I said, it's about me.
Well, Brian.
Brian. The reason why I don't tell Brian about it is because it's about me, and it's about my healing, it's about my growth. So I feel like it's not necessarily about him per se. It's about, I felt this way because of my past, and it's not his fault. And I think he'll be supportive of it, but at the same time, I know he can get defensive about me. And I feel like the more I tell him stuff about Dante and what he said to me, it will make him angry. I feel like it will make him upset, and that's not what I want to do. I don't want this to be necessarily about Dante and what he did. It's more about me learning from my past and taking all the negative things that were thrown at me and turning into positive attributes for myself. So it's more for myself. So no, I don't think I'll tell Dante about it. I feel like it's more for myself, if anything.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
I think, well, that may be a good idea. That's not me giving you advice. I'm not allowed to do that.
Right.
It's not me giving you a suggestion. But I think that may be a good idea.
Right.
I like the fact that you were able to own up to some of your flashbacks and say, hey, this is not his fault. This is how I can empower myself.
Right.
This is how I can overcome this specific flashback.
Right.
Because you realize that it's not Brian's fault.
Right.
And those are signs that's good for me to hear, to know your healing process and where you're at in it. Maybe Brian may not know, but as long as me as your counselor knows, that allows me to see that if I am doing my job, this is what it will look like, or this is what it doesn't look like. What does it look like if Brian's what does it look like if Brian's in your life And how will you become healed with Brian's help?
With Brian's help. Bryant, even now, our relationship is like a analogy, per se, as far as the grass is greener on the other side type thing. Like, I feel like overall, I see our relationship as an analogy, only because you don't always see the light when you're in the dark, and with Dante, and I hate going back and forth, but it's for me. So, but I felt like I said, I felt like I was being content with Dante. I felt like this is what we were supposed to be doing at our age. This is what I felt like. We were together for 2 years, so engagement is about to come, as moving in is about to come, like that whole societal being 20, like in the 20s, and this relationship type thing. And he came along and he kind of like just busted that wide open. Like, that's not, you don't have to conform. I felt like I was conforming to what love or a long relationship was supposed to look like. And Bryant definitely was like, no, that's not, if you're not ready to fully commit to somebody, or that person's not treating you right, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to settle or be content, that type of thing? So I felt like he showed me that there's more, that there's way more than what I thought there was. I felt like maybe this is it, like maybe this is what I deserve, or maybe I don't deserve that genuine happiness. Maybe that's overrated. Maybe that's just like fairy tales. And when I met Bryant, he's already been in my life, but relationship wise, I feel genuinely happy. I feel secure, and I feel safe with him. And that's why it's so important to me, and for myself as well, to be a better me and for Brian, for this relationship, because I feel like he deserves that. And he deserves that for me, because he's helping me heal in different ways. Just like he takes me different places, like I said, to show me that, I love you and I care about you, and I want you to know that it's different things around you that you should pay attention to, because it's not always just about you and the person. It's about everything around you guys. So he definitely keeps me open and keeps me on my toes when it comes to life. So
can you take a step back when you say it's not about you, or you and the person? What did you mean by that?
Well, with me and Dante, I hate comparing this, I hate doing this, but with me and Dante, I just felt like it was just me and him. It wasn't, it was just a really just bland relationship, as far as we would do what we were supposed to do, as far as we'd go to work, get off work, we'll hang out, we'll do just hang out, not really like go anywhere, or not really explore the city, or not really talk about our future, or talk about what we want to do years from now. We never really talked about stuff like that. It was always like we just lived day by day, just kind of like just going through the motion type thing. And switching when I decided there's enough with me and Dante. Me and Brian started dating. We would have serious conversations, have intellectual conversations about life, and it's more to life than just relationships and just going day by day, living in emotion. I want to take you here because I want you to see this, so you can be more like open and cultivated to certain things. I want you to be more Renaissance when it comes to certain things. Like I not living by emotion. Basically, he was saying that I don't want you to feel like you're going through the motion every single day. Who wants to live like that? That's why I said it's not just about me and that person, and we're just going through the motion. It's about me and you, and we're seeing the world together. Exploring the world together, and and figuring out how can we stay together while we're viewing it in different perspectives. So
it seems to me that if we're able to combine the two processes between Brian's healing process and your own healing process, I think that a lot of the wounds that you may have received may close. I think that a lot of the wounds or a lot of the uncertainty that you have may be eliminated based on you getting through your past and your experiences with your family, you being able to do that on your own,
right.
But then also having your significant other present to allow him to go through some of those techniques that you mentioned.
Right.
This is just a general question. No right or wrong answer.
Okay.
When it comes to things are not going your way,
right.
Do you change as a person or do you change your environment?
What do you mean by things not going my way? What do you mean by that?
Let's just say finances aren't going your way. You and Brian are arguing all the time over the littlest things. Him leaving the toilet seat up. And your job, you just been slacking at your job.
Right.
So with all those three things into effect, are you more likely to change your environment or change who you are? And how easy is that? What does that look like?
When you mean change who I am, do you mean do I shut down or do I turn into like a nasty person or?
Yeah.
And by change environment, do you mean, what do you mean by that exact person?
Like, okay, so now you don't want to work for this job no more.
Okay, got you. I would definitely say that I would change myself. And not necessarily saying that for the worse or anything, but saying that, like, if I'm having days where I'm just not having a good day at work, or me and Brian are having arguments, or it's just not a good day for me, I usually shut down. But even though I shut down, I suck it up. And I'm not going to say, I want a new job, or I want a new boyfriend, or I want, I'm too competitive to sit here and quit on something like that. So,
really? Okay.
So I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm leaving this job because I just can't take it no more, and or I'm going to break up with Brian because he's never listened to me. I'm never that type of person. But I will alter myself on how I'm feeling. So say if me and Brian had a bad day and I'm going into work, I might not be that talkative Treese. I might be that chill, calm, like I'm just about my business, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, go home type thing. If I'm having a bad day at work, I'm gonna do what I have to do, but when I get home, I'll probably cry, I'll drink a glass of wine, that type of like taking your mask off type of thing, type of day. Like, you put a mask on just because you're going to work, but take it off when you get home, or put my mask on before I go to work, but take it off when I get home type thing. So, definitely never change my environment. I've never been a type of person. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised to give up and go somewhere else and just, but definitely alter myself when certain things are happening.
And now this is what highlights me, or this is what drew my attention. You saying mask on and mask off, and like what that looks like in the cases of now you're in the workplace or now you're at home. How do you manage not having your mask on in front of Bryant, and how this may affect your relationship based on you having a mask? Because deep down you might be smiling.
Right.
Or no, excuse me, with the mask you might be smiling, but deep down you're upset because you're thinking about a flashback because Brian did something to cause a flashback.
That's good. A question, actually. In the beginning, especially with my relationships, I never try to give them any type of mask. I try to give them very raw Vontrese, because I always have a saying, if you can't see me at my worst, you can't see me at my best. Mm-hmm. So not necessarily I give them a hard time to test them or anything, but I always try to be authentic with them. Always, be real with them. This is how the person I am. There is no... I'm not going to say that I'm always rainbows and cupcakes and lollipops. Like, this is who I am. And, it's really up to that person whether or not they want to say. And if they don't want to say, then that's on them. So I don't try to... I don't really have a mask with Brian. And I never really have when it came to my relationships, because I feel like I shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
I always feel like I shouldn't have to.
And I think the the foundation that you guys set enabled you to approach Brian without a mask on. Mm-hmm. I was just curious to know, because a lot of the things that you said, in Brian's case, this is maybe a tough question, but do you feel like you were allowed to start off with a clean slate?
With Brian?
Yeah.
As far as
anything, relationship issues, old relationships, whatever the case would be.
I mean, not necessarily, honestly, and the only reason why I'm saying that, because I feel like some of that stuff from my past relationship I carried into this one.
Well, no. I want to know if you were able to have a clean slate, like in his case. I know he clearly wasn't, and I wanted to step on that next, but I wanted to know, first off, or firsthand, was Vontrese clean slate Vontrese, and he had no predeterminations of, man, she just did this, or she's acting like.
Oh yeah. I definitely had a clean slate, for sure.
And what does that look like now that, going into him not having a clean slate, and how it may make him feel, because this is about you,
right?
But in order for your relationship to work, I think this is important for you to see that it's difficult if he does not have a clean slate,
right?
Especially if he didn't do anything,
right? You're absolutely right.
And I don't think you want him to right another man's wrong because you were in a bad position or a bad relationship. And I think that based on how these sessions have gone, we have been able to talk about your history enough to where you are understanding, okay, maybe I should not put Brian in this position here, or maybe I talked about Brian, or I didn't talk to Brian about this and that. And that's why this is important. These conversations are important. And the session is important because ultimately, when we come back next week, I need to know if you feel like you're ready, or if you feel like you need more sessions, because that's okay. If you are, it's okay. I don't want to pressure you into doing anything as far as like having to make that decision. I would like you to go home, think about it, and when we come back, we can figure out what's best, because I think that you're there when it comes to acknowledging certain things that can make your relationship harder, but because you're here to be healed, in a sense, you're here to talk about it. Right. This is healthy for you, and this is also allowing you to grow. Right. So next week when we come back, just a quick 10-minute session. I'll give you the links for the 5 love languages. Okay. You knock those out. We possibly can discuss it briefly, and we can figure out if this is something that you would like to do, or if you would like to continue, or be referred somewhere else. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.